Hi, welcome to ProMax and the fabulous four here today to talk a little bit about Facebook and Google. We've got Francisco, Sarah, and Scott Bailey. And of course, there's Doug. I'm sitting here with my cool blue shirt on. So good to go. So let's get started. Francisco, you are our resident expert. So why don't you get us started on how Facebook and Google are going to help me and Mr. Bailey grow our martial arts schools.
Right. Thank you very much for that. How's it going, everybody? So thank you for having me, Mr. Rankin. So Facebook and Google, it's one of the platforms or one of the ways of advertising for any business at all, right? Whether it's martial arts or any other industry. So you want to get your name out there, right? You want to get your name where people are usually at, and that is Facebook, The other one is Google, which is the #1 search engine in the world. Google has actually become a verb. When somebody's asking, what about this? What about that? Well, just Google it. Don't ask me. Google it, or whatever the case is. So we want to be in front. We want to be presented. We want to be in front of where people are actually at. Back in the day, if you recall, we would advertise in newspapers, magazines, radio, whatever the case was, right? Because everybody was reading newspaper, everybody was reading magazines, everybody was listening to the radio. Nowadays, with the modern society, we have to advertise where people are at. So one of the best platforms, if not to say the #1 platform to advertise, is still Facebook. Regardless, I'm sorry, Facebook and Instagram, because you guys didn't know that is the same company. So you can basically advertise to both companies at the same time from one single ad spend. TikTok is out there, LinkedIn is out there, so there's a couple of other ones, but Facebook's still the #1, and of course, Google. So once you're presented to them, you can choose different strategies, different formats where you're going to be able to send your clients, if they're going to send them to a checkout page, if you're going to send them to your website, to a particular landing page, or if you want to send them directly to a CRM, which is like the one we have, where you can automate the beginning process at least, right? And you could stop, wasting time on, we call them empty leads. I like to call them empty because, there are times that people are just not ready to commit to anything whenever they're first seeing the ad. They click on the ad. Now that I'm a parent, 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, you're looking at Facebook, you're surfing, and then you click on something because you're interested, and then here comes a kid who drops a can of water or hits his head, or is doing something to his baby brother, and you just stopped. You basically stop whatever you were doing to go help him out, to go see what's going on with the kids. And then later on, you forget what you were looking at, right? So what we do, everybody does Facebook ads.
By puppies.
Exactly. What we do with Facebook ads and with Google ads, it's basically send the direct interest of the person directly to our CRM, which is, I have to say, one of the main advantages, if not to say the main advantage of us versus other companies out there, that we nurture the process. Anybody can do Facebook, anybody can do Google. You can learn it. You can learn it off of a YouTube video. But the objective is, once they see the ad, they click on it, they're interested, they fill out the lead form, then they get redirected automatically to our ProMax CRM system, and then they can start the nurture process right away, so that you don't waste time.
I will say, all of that. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Bailey. I'm sorry, I just sent Francisco. He nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say too, a lot of people, a lot of martial arts schools think of Facebook and Google as kind of being intertwined. It's the same type of marketing, but it's truly not, right? People that are on Facebook, you're throwing a fishing line out in the water and you're trying to catch that fish, right? So you're nurturing people in your area. Whereas Google, somebody's actively looking for you, right? And so if you're doing one without the other, you're truly failing in your marketing strategies, right? And so I think, having both set up where they're both running simultaneously is a powerful tool.
Absolutely. And it's, I think the big thing about, both of those probably really is audiences too. Audiences and testing, So, how do I choose my audience? If you're just looking for a truckload of prospects coming in, make it really broad. Don't pick any demographics, don't pick anything, just be broad and see how you do. And then as you see what that number looks like, and maybe you're having a lot of prospects, but not a lot of appointments or a lot of whatever's coming in, then you start to narrow that, and that gets back into the same thing. There's the word testing again. So look-alike. What's that?
So it's kind of like we do martial arts around here.
Yeah. So, got lookalike audiences, you got the websites, you got, people come from there that you can retarget. Facebook has a lot of different crap that you can do as far as, trying out different things. And none of it's wrong. That's the best part about it. None of it's wrong. It's just the trick of finding out what's right for you. And
your market.
For us at ProMax, we have the luxury of running these ads for so many schools across the country that it allows us to be able to narrow down what we think is going to work for you. Do we always nail it on the head the first time? We do not. Nobody does. But that's why we do the testings. And then eventually we find the one that works great for you.
And adding to that, Mr. Rankin, having somebody that's, Francisco and a couple other staff members are constantly looking at that. I look at it every day too, because I want to be the best. And so I check everybody's scores every day as well. And I'm constantly in the background saying, hey, let's look at this, with these guys. But Francisco and his team is truly doing the work in the marketing aspect every single day.
Well, the funny part about that is Sarah's sitting here quietly today, and she doesn't really have anything to do with Facebook and Google for our company. She just really, that's not in her job responsibilities of having anything to do with Facebook and Google. But yet she finds things that end up getting connected to Facebook and Google that she brings back to the team members and says, hey guys, I've noticed this, here's something that we either need to do or something that you're doing really well. And then it allows us to work cohesive as that team again. So, don't look at Sarah sitting down there quietly thinking that she just doesn't really know anything about Facebook and Google, because it ain't true.
Yeah, sometimes since we do the calling for many schools here at ProMax, sometimes we take a look at these accounts really closely. And when, for example, we are missing the audience that we want to target, then that's when I go back to either one of the team members that Francisco has on his side, and they do whatever changes necessary on either your Facebook ads or your Google ads, so we can actually get real leads for you, people that it's actually interested in your school. So
that's right. Yeah,
that's important too.
I think that's really important to talk about is, qualified leads. I know many people get in the habit of just looking at the total number of leads and, I got 100 leads this month, but how many people are actually truly walking to your door? That's almost, I would say, more important than the actual number of quantity of leads.
The funny part about quality leads, that word quality leads has changed so significantly in the last 10 years. For a long time, a quality lead was, oh, it's that person that gives me their phone number. I get their name and I get their email address, but I have to have their phone number. And now everybody has gotten to the for the last 10 years, if you don't put a phone number in, you don't get the information of what you're looking for. So there's something new about the quality, because we're getting that person to put their phone number in today, and the person before that didn't put the phone number in, they weren't a quality lead. Well, now we're saying some of these people aren't quality leads, and it's true, they're not. So it takes a company focused on being able to find for you what a quality lead is.
I think it's important to also say, sometimes quality leads aren't looking to book right now, right? So they're looking to book in 2 or 3 months when summer hits, or they're doing baseball season and they're doing pro, travel baseball. And so, or, after school is coming up in a few months, so all the marketing needs to be tailored towards that. And so, having a nurturing sequence like our CRM and ProMax, that really keeps them and it keeps our company and it keeps your company in front of everybody's eyeballs all the time.
Man, when I was a youngster and I'd ask a girl out on a date, she'd tell me no. It was devastating. What I didn't realize at the time is no, it meant not right now, And if you were persistent, then perhaps you got that date after all. So a lot of no's turn into a yes eventually. There's a whole book written on that. Benjamin Hardy has a book, I think, out there. Didn't he write that book?
Yes.
Go for no. And that's what we do. That's why we're making outgoing phone calls. That's why we do all of the things we do. We want to hear no. And then we're going to call you back so you can tell us no again. And then we're going to call you back and tell you us no again. Then we're going to call you back later on. You're going to tell us, you know what, this is a pretty good idea.
Exactly. Right. We have had those kind of leads on the ProCalls team where it's been probably like 2 months that we have been nurturing that particular lead. And at the end of the day, they go for a trial or a tour or whatever we are approaching to. So that's right.
Awesome.
All right, last thing. Let's wrap this up. I just thought of this. I'm going to put you 3 all on the spot. Okay. All right. So this is unscripted. All right, so be on your toes. All right. So if I have to choose between Google and Facebook, Francisco, where am I going
Yes.
to put my money?
Half and half, sir. There's no better Facebook. There's no better Google.
All right, that's a fair answer. Mr. Bailey, what do you think?
If I was a new school and I was trying to grow, I would focus more on Google because those are active clients that are searching for me. And I don't have a lot of revenue to just be throwing out to the wolves. So if I'm a young school or if I'm a growing school, that's what I'm doing.
He's going to Google. What about you, Sarah? What would you do in your martial arts school?
Google, definitely.
Google.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. We've got a Google, and we've got a both. And you know what, Francisco? I actually agree with you. I don't think we can. I don't think we have to decide. I asked the question the wrong way, and I made you choose. All right, and you guys did. You did a good job listening to the question, except Francisco, and he never pays attention to me anyway. But he was right. Yeah, I think you've got to have everything out there. He used the great analogy at Apogee last year that he stole from somebody that I'm stealing from him about fishing poles. And if you put one fishing pole out there, you're going to catch one fish at a time. And, it may take you 10 minutes, half an hour, 2 days to catch that one fish. If I have 50 fishing poles out there, then my chances of catching a fish are greatly increased. And if I still catch only one fish per day, per line, now I have 50 fish instead of one. So that's what we're looking for. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to get our name out there. So what do? We have to make sure we're posting on social media. Facebook loves that crap. Try to keep them on the Facebook platform as long as you can. And I had another one. Just want to send emails to your client list. Send happy birthdays, send birthday discounts. Talk about the great things that they do. Have a student spotlight. Whatever it is that you do, you got to do all of these things. Referral program. My gosh, we've got an amazing referral program to use. So I'm sorry.
Coming up in the next few sessions, we'll talk about the referral program.
I'm really excited about that. Like I said, that was the one thing I heard when we started, when I was introduced to being an opportunity to come and work with ProMax was, that one program was the one that sold me, All right. Anything else, guys? Sorry, I like to talk.
Thanks for being
you're
with us.
fine. Yeah, I just want to recap, this is a very small, short little webinar. We could have a full session just on Facebook. We can have another full session just on Google. We can have another full session on GPP. But this is just a general idea of why ProMax when doing Facebook, when doing Google. Stay tuned over the next few weeks, months. We're going to be doing this constantly where we talk briefly about ProMax and what we do for each one of the services that are out there.
And I'll also like to add, if you're a young school or a new school or a school that's struggling, me and Mr. Rankin have been doing this for a long time, and we'd love to help you guys out. Even just general advice or things we've been through or experiences that you may not know how to handle. We've probably, between the two of us, have probably seen most of everything. So if you guys want to need help, just reach out on Facebook or send us a message or something.
Yeah, no charge.
And no charge.
All right. So we'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.